Sri Sai Ram. I'm very, very happy to be here, part of this satsang, to share some aspects of Sri Sathya Sai Baba's teachings. According to most of the scriptures in Hinduism, especially the Bhagavad Gita, the entire humanity has been divided into certain groups. Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga are the three main groups in which every individual human being will fall. Either he falls into one, or there are some other groups, a mix and match of these main three groups, like Bhakti Yogi plus Karma Yogi, Bhakti Yogi plus Jnana Yogi, Karma Yogi plus Jnana Yogi, that kind of groups I'm talking about. Probably most of us who are here in this forum right now belong to the Jnana Yogi group, because in the Jnana Yogi group, all the participants, all the people belonging to this group are always curious to know more and more. They have the habit of questioning. They want to debate. They want to discuss. So they get into study circles, and they always try and read and seek more knowledge. And that is how I think most of us who are here in this group may belong to Jnana group. Okay, now, before we move on to the main topic, let me tell you, I have been asked to tell about my experiences with Bhagavan. In fact, I have experience with Bhagavan on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis. But spirituality is something which is going from I to we. That means the individual has to lose his significance. It is not the individual which matters. It is Bhagavan who matters. So my experience per se will not be very, very significant. Yes, we can talk about Bhagavan at length, and I always maintain the stand that I am a zero and my hero is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I'm sure that most of us, all of us, will be very happy for having been brought into Sai 4. Sai Way is a highway with no exits. Once you come into Sai Way, Sai Fold, you will not be able to get out of that particular Sai Fold, and you are a permanent member of the Sai fraternity. Yes, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba chooses his own devotees. You won't be able to get into Sai fraternity, and you won't be able to get into Sai family unless he wills. It is not easy. He chooses. In fact, it is said that not all lotuses bloom when the sun rises. Only those lotuses which are to bloom will bloom, and others will not. I will give you one particular example for this. It was the year 1992. I was living in Bombay. And my wife, my children, I have one son and one daughter, all four of us, we wanted to go to South India too. So we made a detailed plan, went around to a lot of places. Bangalore, we went flying from Mumbai to Bangalore, And then Bangalore, we took a taxi, went to Bangalore to Mysore, Mysore to Bandipur, Bandipur to Ooty, Ooty to, like that, so many places, Madurai, Palani, Rameswaram, Tirukurundaram, so many places we went. We went also to Tirupati and all those places, but we did not go to Puttaparthi at all. It is not that we were unaware of Puttaparthi at that time in the year 1992 because my son was studying in a school in Thane, Mumbai, which the god, the primary god, the main idol which is worshipped, which the main deity that is worshipped was Sri Satya Sai Baba there. We knew about Sai Baba way back in 1980s, 87 or so. I went with my son for a discourse in Cheddanagar in Mumbai. So we knew about Satya Sai Baba, but we did not go to Puttaparthi. And now when we recall those things, we feel that there was no call from Satya Sai Baba, and that is why we could not go to Puttaparthi. So the point we highlighted here is that you cannot become a Sai devotee unless Sai Baba wills. He invites you, he calls you, and the calling, when it comes, then you will go. Once you have gone to Sai Baba, it is like, having tasted the nectar, you want to keep tasting it time and again. You want to go and have his darshan very often as possible. And I live in Singapore from in the year 94. I've been living here. And believe you me, I went to Puttaparthi for the first time only after coming to Singapore. That was in the year 1994, December. And the very first visit when we went to Puttaparthi, we did not stay in the ashram, we stayed outside. And when we went for darshan, that is the time there was a transformation in the sense that Bhagavan looked into my eyes and I said, oh, it was a wonderful feeling I had. Thereafter, every year we went to Puttaparthi and the work used to take me from Singapore to Delhi. Every month I used to travel to India to Delhi, and whenever I was going or coming back from Delhi to Singapore, I used to go via Bangalore and go for a darshan at Puttaparthi or Whitefield, as the case may be. And I have had numerous darshans during the period 95, 96, 97, 98, during that time. One particular incident is what I would like to highlight here. When I was coming back from Delhi during those visits, when I was coming back from Delhi, it so happened that the flight was delayed and it did not reach Bangalore at 6 o'clock in the evening as it was scheduled. So what happened? It was about 7:30 or so. I landed. I then quickly came out. The taxi was waiting, and I went to Puttaparthi. And I told the driver, "Don't stop anywhere. Just keep going." And by the time we went to Puttaparthi, it was about 9:15. You all know in Puttaparthi the lights are off at 9 o'clock. I don't know now, but in the past, before Mahasamadhi days, the lights were all off at 9 o'clock and the ashram goes to sleep. On that particular day, when I reached around 9:15, the gate fellow opened the door without questioning. I went to the accommodation office in block N7 or somewhere there. And the guy in that office said, I have been waiting for you. Come, come. And then he gave me the accommodation. And it was really surprised. I went in and next morning I went for darshan. Can you imagine that the accommodation office was open only for me to come, and when the accommodation was given to me, he locked the office, and then I went to my N8 or N6 or somewhere there. I got the room. I stayed there. So what I'm saying is that if Satya Sai Baba wills, it will happen. He wanted me to come, and so the accommodation officer was waiting for me. Uh, the darshan during the pre-Mahasamadhi days was totally different from post-Mahasamadhi darshan. I mean, apart from the fact that Bhagavan himself was not there physically, the routine and other things were different in the sense that, we used to get up at about 4 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, and then quickly get ready and come for darshan line and sit in the line, and then there are the morning. They used to make about 12 rows or something like that. Then numbers are given. So the way it is all done, it used to be very, very interesting. And you go into the Sai Kulwant hall after the token numbers are called. So line number 1, if you are lucky, you would have got. They will give the tokens. The first fellow sitting in the row, he will have to pick up the token number. So if he gets 1, it will be very good. He will be the first lane to go. So that kind of a thing we used to enjoy. And then Nagar Sankirtan used to be very nice. Even now, Nagar Sankirtan must be there. I have not gone to Puttaparthi after 2015 for some reason. There are very good reasons for me not to go. That I will not go into the details right now. So what happens is Satya Sai Baba is like a magnet. He keeps calling, and then you can't miss an opportunity to go to Puttaparthi and have his darshan as and when the call comes. Now, today's topic, I said that I want to talk more about Sakyam, Sneham, that is friendship. See, in Bhakti Yoga, there are always, we look for opportunities for devotion, and there are Navavidha Bhakti, that 9 forms of devotion to attain the Lord. All of these 9, the first few of them are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, and the 8th one is Sakyam. I want to now spend some time on what is Sakyam, what is friendship, friendship in general. See, what happens is if there is a proper understanding between two people, then there are no formalities required at all. That relationship between these two people or more number of people, as the case may be, will be deep rooted. Like, what happens is, if I go to a friend of mine, go to the house of my friend of mine, let's say in Chennai, I can go anywhere in the house as though it is my own house because I know that friend very well, very, very, very well. So there are no formalities at all. In fact, there are a couple of friends I really consider as God. One such friend is Tiagu from Chennai. I still, even today, I know him for about 50 years. Such a nice gentleman. And, I consider him as God. As far as amongst the Sai devotees, there is one gentleman called Gangadharan from Singapore. He lives for some time in Singapore, for some time in Australia. And I also consider him as one of the best persons I can ever have as a friend. I consider him as God himself. So the friendship is the relationship which is called friendship. What happens is every one of us, whether it is me or you, any of you, we always want to sort of confide or share thoughts and the happenings leading to happiness with someone who is close to us, who is like minded, and who will listen to us, encourage and inspire us from, we can call our own, that person we can call our own. That is why it is said that a friend in need is friend indeed. This relationship is what is friendship we are talking about. It is to be noted, one thing, that this relationship is made from our own choice. It is not compulsory or nobody forces you on this particular relationship. In one of the Samarpan talks, somebody defined a friendship like this. A true friend is one who gives you good counsel and cautions you without exposing and embarrassing you in the presence of others when you go wayward. The reason is, that fellow is interested in you and he has got a deep rooted relationship with you. And so he will not expose you at all in front of others. To get a good friend is a very, very difficult thing. As you go in your journey of life, you will realize how difficult it is to retain good friends. However, a time will come when you will agree that God is really a true friend. In everybody's life, they will realize, hey, Bhagavan is the best friend. So what I'm saying is, God is your only friend, true friend, only friend. This is what Bhagavan himself said on 5th of July 2001 in Prashanti Nilayam, and that was a Guru Purnima day. Let us also understand that God punishes those who join bad company. That is why it is said, run away from bad company, join good company, and perform meritorious deeds day and night. This is what Bhagavan said on 22nd November 2005 at the convocational, the valedictory address of Sri Satyasai Institute of Higher Learning. Swami says, between you and me, nobody, nothing stands. God's purely personal. Your so-called friends, organizations, religions, relatives may forget or ignore you, but still God does not leave you like all do. Most of the organizations or religious groups or in fact they misuse your talent, wealth, and most precious time. Finally may forget you too, but God never forsakes you. In the nine with a Navavidha Bhakti mark, the first 7 steps of devotion to Sai, only we qualify oneself to be a Sai devotee. See, what happens is you start listening, you start singing bhajans, you start smaranas, namasmarana. When you do all these things, slowly you start becoming a devotee of Sai Baba. But you know one thing? Sai Baba is said to be looking, even till today, is searching for real Sai devotees. But by constantly thinking of Sai, that is constant integrated awareness as it is called, and also by asking 3 questions, A, I will detail that 3 questions. One can boldly call himself a Sai devotee. And in my opinion, Sai Baba will be quite happy to accept that one as indeed a Sai devotee. What is this AAP? Who came out with this AAP? We all know that Professor Kasturi is one of the great Sai devotees the entire Sai fraternity has seen. The new generation may not know much about Professor Kasturi, but people who have been the Sai devotee for now 30, 40 years or so definitely would have heard Professor Kasturi. AAP is, Professor Kasturi said that you should ask always yourself three questions. The thought and the action that is arising out of the thought affect the glory of Sai Baba. If it is going to affect badly, then don't do that. Don't think of that. If it does not affect the glory of Sai Baba, go ahead and take up that job. The second question is, will Sai Baba himself approve the thought and the action arising out of that thought? Is the second question. When you ask yourself, hey, can I do this? Will Sai Baba approve this? When you think about it, you yourself will get the answer. And only when you think that Sai Baba will approve, take up that particular job. The third one is, has this thought and the action arising out of this thought been prompted by the God? Incidentally, I would like to say I use the word God and Sai as synonyms. So for me, when I say God, he is Sai Baba, and when I say Sai Baba, I'm talking about God. So, has Sai prompted this particular thought in my mind? That is a very, very difficult question to answer, to get an answer for that. Because this monkey mind will always play a double role, and it may give you a feeling that it is himself, the inner voice that is talking to you, but it may not be the inner voice. It is only the mind that is talking to you. So one has to be very careful when answering this question. And once you get an answer, positive answer to all these three questions, take up that particular job. That is what Professor Kasturi has said. So when you do this kind of checks and balances and then keep on working in Sai, what happens is you tend to become a devotee acceptable to Sai. The Lord responds to a devotee according to the devotee's feelings for him. The Lord is all. He is Purna. He responds to a devotee in the form and relationship and the devotee's loves. We went to so many temples in the last 4 or 5 years or so. We would have gone to more than 100, 150 temples in the last 4 years, leaving this 2020 and 21, the COVID years, from 2016, 17, 18, 19, and recently in 22 also. We went to so many temples. Whenever I go to any temple, I always get the word Sai Ram. That is how I address everybody. And also, when I see the idol in the shrine, I see Sai Baba. This is how I used to feel. And when I came back to my hometown, my country, and during the discussions with Ajit Popat, who is a very good friend of mine, when I told him this, that's exactly what happens to me also, Ganti. That's what he tells me, Ajit Popat. Ajit Popat is a very senior devotee, and I consider whatever he says as very true statements. As we keep growing our devotion stronger and stronger in the heart, the devotee desires a closer relationship with the God. That is when the friendship comes. The Satyam level of love is very, very deep. It takes a lot of sadhana. It is not that you can become a friend of the God so easily. Once this happens, this is exactly as what has happened in my life. In the year 2014, when I came back from Puttaparthi, lot of things happened. Lot of things happened which most of you may not be aware about how this the cult organization has developed. There were breakaway groups inside and so on and so forth. And that is the time when I started developing friendship with Bhagavan, who used to guide me every day, every step of mine. He used to guide me. And in the video which we want to show you at the end of, after another 15-20 minutes, you will see Bhagavan assuring how he will come in your presence, and you can easily see him, talk to him. We'll talk about the video as we go along. Bhagavan said, friendship is the expression of unshakable love, love that is noble, pure, free from desire or egoism. You know, in the Gita Vahai chapter 6, he very clearly says, of the 9 forms of worship, friendship is the most important. What happens is when you consider the God Sai Baba as your friend, you will not hesitate to ask any question to him and he will reply. And you will know that for every smallest of things, you can ask him and he will show you the path. I'll give you one example. In one particular seva activity in which I was very deeply involved, the meeting was to commence at 7 o'clock in the evening. And I was driving and I had to order some food items from one of the restaurants and come and things like that. And at that point in time, to get a parking was impossible. Then when I was driving to reach the restaurant, I was praying and I was telling Swami, please help me. I need to park the car somewhere. You know what happened? Right in front of that restaurant, I got the parking. People may say that it's a coincidence. Don't attribute it to God giving you a helping hand. No, I always gave the benefit of doubt. There's no question of benefit of doubt. It was very clear to me that it is God who helped me. So, God is somebody who will always help if you are wanting. If you are wanting any, if you ask him, he will help you. Well, I want to read something which Bhagavan said. Accept God as your only true friend. It should be realized, however, that there is no greater friend for anyone than God. He is beyond the reach of praise and censure. He does not give up man on the ground of latest failure to come up to his expectations. God desires no offerings from any devotee. God is the only one friend who confers benefits on devotees without expecting any return. Nevertheless, man does not readily accept such a friend. Only the man who accepts God as such a friend and is guided by his advice can understand the meaning of divine friendship. This is a wonderful statement. What Bhagavan is saying is, unless you have faith that God is really helping you and He is creating the opportunities for you to go in the right path, then unless you have that faith, you can never understand what is a divine friendship. In fact, in life, faith is the underlying current. Everything depends upon faith. The husband goes to the work in the morning, comes back in the evening. What is happening in the house? He does not know. But he has to have the faith that everything goes well in the house. That is faith. You go to the same doctor time and again. Why? You have the faith that that particular doctor is going to treat you properly and you will recover sooner. When you are traveling from Bangalore to Puttaparthi by taxi or bus or whatever means of transportation, you do know because you already traveled quite a distance and come up to Bangalore. And so in the car, you are sleeping, you are dozing off, and wherever the driver takes you safely, you have faith that the driver is not going to go and dash against somebody and your life could be in danger. You have the faith. So faith is the nature alone constitutes true jnana. That is what Bhagavan said. Faith of this nature alone constitutes true jnana. This is what Bhagavan said at the sports meet on Makara Sankranti day in Puttaparthi. Now, we have finished about 35 minutes. Another thing which I would like to read out is only when you cultivate this feeling of friendship with God, you can reach the last stage of Atma Nivedan, self-surrender. Of course, it is hard to effect this full surrender. But if you make but slightest effort towards it, the Lord Himself will confer the courage to lead you as a guide. See, what happens is, Bhagavan said time and again, you take one step, I'll take 100 steps towards you. He will help as a friend. That is exactly what has happened to me from the year 2014. Even till today, let's go back to this particular satsang. How it all happened? I feel that it is Bhagavan who has made this happen to us. I don't know anybody in this group called Religion of Love. But I got a message from Madam Chetna saying that Mr. Ganti, would you be able to address us for this satsang and all that? I said yes, and but for somehow I've been postponing, and just about in early June, I got a message, sort of a thing from Bhagavan to say, why are you postponing? What is the need for postponing this particular satsang? Address, go back to the organizers and confirm the date. Then immediately I located Madam Chetna's number and called her, and this 16th of July, today, I'm talking to you people. I don't want to talk many more of these kind of experiences I have with Bhagavan, but those are all, most of them are personal. One last thing I would like to say is, Swami told the student to use Swami as Dhobi to cleanse the mind. That's a very important statement, because the mind really comes in the way of your spiritual progress. It puts you into tests all the time. It takes you in the wrong path. You know, as you keep going, always it is said two paths come, and one is difficult path, but it is the correct path. Another one is easy path. The mind tells you to go in the easy path. Whereas if you go in the difficult path, again another Y comes, two more paths come, and so on and so forth. It is God who guides you and takes you in the right path. That is why Swami said that I'll cleanse your mind and take you in the right path. And so the students are so lucky to have been having a dhoti in Swami to cleanse their minds. And I would now request the administrators to start the video where Swami very clearly says that you can get liberation in 11 seconds if you concentrate. And also he says that if you concentrate on him for 11 seconds, he will come in front of you and he will talk to you. You can see him and all that. Watch the video, please.
Second లోపలే నీకు తప్ప రియలైజేషన్ వస్తుంది.
If you keep your mind steady in 11 seconds, you will attain liberation.
ఊరికే గడియారం తిరుగుతూ పోతుంటే మెడిటేషన్ రాదు.
But if it goes on moving, rotating as in a wall clock, you will never attain liberation.
కనుక
Therefore,
మీరు అనవసరమైనటువంటి శ్రమలకు ఓర్చుకోకండి.
don't strain yourself.
బాడీని చాలా శ్రమ పెడుతున్నారు.
You exert and strain yourself a lot.
Time is God.
Time is God.
God is time.
God is time.
Don't waste time.
Don't waste time.
Time waste is life waste.
Time waste is life waste.
కనుక మీరు టైం కూడా ఏమాత్రం వేస్ట్ చేయకండి.
Never waste time.
ఎప్పుడు కొంచెం టైం చిక్కినా మీకు అప్పుడు స్వామిని తలుచుకోండి.
If you find some time, think immediately of Bhagavan.
అప్పుడు మీకు తప్పక నేను వస్తాను.
And then you will find Bhagavan manifesting in front of you.
మీకు కనిపిస్తాను, మీకు కనిపిస్తాను, మీకు కనిపిస్తాను.
Bhagavan assures that you will be able to see him in physical form if you concentrate deeply.
మీకు కనిపించడమే కాదు, మీతో మాట్లాడుతూ సంభాషణ కూడా చేస్తాను.
Not only you will be able to see him, Bhagavan says that he will talk to you also.
ఎన్నో జాబులు వస్తున్నాయి, ఎన్నో జాబులు నిన్న నాతో వచ్చి మాట్లాడినాడు స్వామి అని చెప్తుంటారు.
There are many devotees who say that Swami talked to me the other day.
అట్లనే మీరు ఆ విధంగా చేయండి. ఆ యొక్క నమ్మకాన్ని మీరు బుద్ధిగా పెట్టుకోండి, తప్పక మీకు జయం జరుగుతుంది.
If you strengthen this faith deeper and deeper, you will have these experiences.
కనుక మీరు ఏ విధమైనటువంటి శాంతి కోసము సౌఖ్యం కోసము ట్రై చేయకండి.
Therefore, don't strain yourself, exert yourself in the name of peace.
కనుక మీకు నిజమైనటువంటి యొక్క సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించాలంటే 11 సెకండ్లు చాలు.
If you know the principle of truth correctly, exactly 11 seconds of time is enough.
11 సెకండ్స్ ఆ మనసు దాంట్లో నిలబడి చాలు.
Keep the mind steady, one pointed for 11 seconds.
11 సెకండ్లు వచ్చేస్తే 11 సెకండ్ లోపలనే చిక్కుతుంది మీకు ఆ దర్శనం.
You will be able to enjoy, experience the manifestation in the process of 11 seconds, even before the completion of 11 seconds.
కనుక మీరు అనవసరంగా గంటలు కూర్చొని కాళ్ళ నొప్పులు, నడుము నొప్పులు, చేతి నొప్పులు వచ్చి చాలా బాధపడుతున్నారు.
But you sit in the name of meditation hours and hours, the result is only joint pains.
కనుక మీరు జాయింట్ పెయిన్స్ కూడా మీరు పెట్టుకోకండి. ఈ జాయింట్ పెయిన్స్ కూడా అవకాశం ఇవ్వద్దండి.
Bhagavan says, don't have these joint pains any longer.
చాలా మంది డాక్టర్స్ అంతా వచ్చి ఇది రొమాటిక్ పెయిన్స్ అంటారు.
Many doctors say that that's all rheumatic pain.
కాదు, రొమాటిక్ పెయిన్స్ కాదు,
It's not rheumatic pain.
దారి తప్పినటువంటి పెయిన్.
It is a pain because of unnecessary strain.
దారి తప్పి 11 సెకండ్కు దారి తప్పినారు.
Because you have trespassed the time limit of 11 seconds.
ఆ టైం తప్పిన వల్లనే ఈ పెయిన్ అంతా వస్తున్నాయి.
Therefore, you have all these rheumatic pains.
ఈ డైట్ కూడాను కొంచెం మాంసభక్షణ, చేపలు ఇలాంటివంతా ఏమాత్రం తినకూడదు.
Meat eating fish, they should be abandoned, dropped immediately.
కానీ ఈ ఫారినర్స్ అందరికి కూడాను ఇది చాలా అభ్యాసం.
But foreigners are used to this non-vegetarian.
దానివల్ల ఎక్కువ క్యాన్సర్, ఇవన్నీ రావడానికి అదే కారణం.
This non-vegetarian food is responsible for so many ailments like cancer.
కనుక దానిని మీరు పూర్తి మానండి.
So discontinue this non-vegetarian habit.
ఇంతే కాదు,
Not only this,
ఈ మిగడ అనేటువంటి చూడండి, మిగడ చీజ్.
then other point, cheese.
ఆ చీజ్ అంటే చాలా ఇష్టం వీళ్ళకు.
Oh, you like cheese very much.
ఆ చీజ్ ఎంత పోతుంటుందో అంత మీకు చాలా బలహీనం అయిపోతుంటుంది.
The more and more cheese you consume, you eat, more weak you will be.
కనుక దానిపైన మీరు పోకండి.
So, don't run after cheese any longer.
మిల్క్ కూడా ఎక్కువగా తీసుకోకూడదు.
Don't take too much of milk.
టూ మచ్ మిల్క్ ఏంటంటే టూ మచ్ మిల్క్ చాలా చెడ్డది.
Too much of milk is also bad.
మనం లిమిట్గా ఉండాలా.
Everything should be under limits.
మిల్క్ ఎంతనో నీరు అందిపోయాలి.
You should mix proper combination. It should be 50-50 milk and water.
కరుడు కూడా అంతే.
So also curd.
గట్టిగా ఉంటే చాలా మంచి కరుడు అంటారు.
You think the curd is so hard, you say it's very good.
గట్టిగా ఉండకూడదు.
No, it shouldn't be so.
అది కొంచెం నీళ్ళగానే ఉండాలి.
You have to dilute it with aqua, water.
కానీ నువ్వు పుట్టినప్పుడే నవ్వుతూ వచ్చావు.
In fact, you are born with bliss, smiling.
So the point to be noted here is only one thing, that if you concentrate on Bhagavan for 11 seconds and yearn for his physical presence, you can see him, you can hear him. The second level of concentration, as it was said somewhere, that you can hear Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba's voice. I am done with my presentation. Sai Ram to everybody.